Hi! This is going to be the first video. I was going to say this is going to be the first video I'm going to speak English, but then I decided not to, because maybe in the future I speak German or Italian. Who knows? Spanish. I really want to learn Spanish. For this video I wanted to talk about how I learned English and how I started speaking English. I shot similar videos to this 4 times already. In the course of like 6 months, but I ended up not uploading them because you see, this is way out of my comfort zone and I never thought I would do this and I'm kind of embarrassed. But let's begin. Full disclaimer, I speak with a Turkish accent. I've never been to any English speaking countries, so I'm going to make a lot of mistakes. I'm not trying to say my English is perfect with this video. I just wanted to share my process and a couple of tips I wish I knew back then when I was trying to learn. I'm just going to do a short summary about my English learning process. It all started in the 4th grade. Kids nowadays start in the 1st grade, which is amazing because by the time they're in the 4th grade, they're going to be familiar with so many words. So they're going to learn a lot more easier than me. We started in the 4th grade with the alphabet, numbers, greetings, which is how you start to learn any language. I really didn't like English. I thought I was incapable of learning it until almost end of high school. I thought I was never going to learn English, even though my dad always watched American-based TV shows, movies, so I heard English constantly, but I got nothing from that. I'm going to come back to this topic later, but hearing is not the same thing as listening. In the 7th and 8th grade, we had exams by the end of the year. I only learned English enough to do well in those exams. When you work only for the exam, after the exam, you get left with nothing. You remember nothing the moment you finish the exam. This probably happened to you before. It has actually a very simple explanation. You store all the information in your short-term memory. If you just happen to repeat these information after the exam, you would have a better chance of transforming them into your long-term memory. But I didn't do that. I didn't repeat anything. The first year of high school was terrible. We had like 10 hours of English classes and I hated the teacher with a passion. I was not liking the subject, I was not liking the teacher, so it made really hard for me to focus on learning. First year of the class, she tested the general knowledge of the class in order to get a textbook in our level. She ended up making us get a level higher than the average of the class, so I was already below the average, so the level of the textbook was so much higher than my level. This brings me to my first point. Have you ever heard about some people teach kids how to swim by throwing them to deeper side of the pool, so they have to swim? This is a great way to learn new things. After you learn the basics, you need to jump on the deeper side of the pool. If you try to study a level higher than yours, you're probably going to learn a lot more, a lot faster. Of course, all of us learn things differently. I'm just sharing what worked for me. And if you try this for a while and it doesn't work, don't feel bad. Try something else. You just can't give up. That is the only key. So my first year of high school teacher pushed me so much. I had to learn. There are a lot of things in the language you need to learn, so it's very easy to become overwhelmed. So my second tip is more concrete. You're going to get a notebook and write every tense and 2 examples. So you start with, for example, present tense, you write the rules of this tense and then 2 examples, and you're going to flip the page and write another tense, for example, past tense. You're going to write all of them. When you know the tenses, understanding and speaking gets really easy. All you have to do is memorize words. So my third tip is about memorizing words. Have you ever heard about the 80-20 rule? I have a couple of other videos where I talked about this rule, but to give a basic outline, everything in life is in this balance. Numbers aren't exactly 80-20, but it's generally pretty close to these numbers, so it's called 80-20 rule. For example, 80% of the wealth held by 20% of the people in the universe, or you spend 80% of your time with 20% of your friends. And this works out with the words you need to memorize. There are about 170,000 words in English in use today, but an average person uses 1,000 to 2,000 on a daily basis. So if you learn most use 1,000 words, you can basically hold a conversation really easily. There are dictionaries like this. I have one in German. This is the most important 1,000 word dictionary. You can get a dictionary, or you can just type most important 1,000 words in English and you will get the list. And memorize these, write them down, listen their pronunciation, try to use in a sentence. Do this daily, like memorize 10 words a day, 5 words a day, but you need to use them constantly. After you start to memorize up to 1,000, 2,000, you're going to understand almost anything. These 3 were my general tips. I'm going to give a couple of bonus tips that everyone gives. You probably already heard these, but watching TV shows helps a lot. But there's a twist. You need to watch it with original subtitles, because even though you don't understand, you will start to understand after a while. For example, people go to other countries and start to pick up on language even though they don't study for it. If I go to France today, I will probably going to pick up on the language after 2 months. Even though I don't know French and I don't study for it, I will probably going to learn a couple of things. Not all of us have the option to go to the country we're trying to learn the language of. So watching shows in the original subtitles will have to do. You can watch movies too, but TV series, especially sitcoms, will going to help you much more, because the place and the people are always the same. They have all these characteristics, so the same words keep repeating and it's easier to understand. If you don't understand, that's okay. You can replay and watch it again, pause it and translate it. This is going to take time, but it's a really helpful thing to do. Daily vlogs are a really great way to learn, because when they vlog, they talk with their friend or someone else, or they talk with you like you're their friend. So you can learn how to hold the conversation, how the conversation goes between 2 people, or the daily idioms you need to learn in order to understand a native speaker. My second bonus tip is translating. You can translate your favorite vloggers, YouTubers' videos. You can translate mine. Translating is not necessarily a good way to learn how to speak, but it's a really good way to learn the structure of sentences. But in order to speak, you need to stop thinking in your own language. If you try to think first, then talk, you're not going to be able to speak really fast. This takes time, but this is basically what you need to do in order to speak. Make up conversations in your own time, all the time. Make up stories and try to hold conversations. If you don't know the word, look for it. Try to speak if you're in a situation. You can use Cambly, but I know that can be overwhelming as well, because you have to speak with a native speaker. So at first you can try to find someone you can text or DM with. Writing back and forth with a native speaker is a really great way to learn daily conversations. You can find these people from comment section of your favorite TV shows, movies, I don't know, products. Use your imagination, you can find them. Those were all of my tips. I was kind of excited, anxious really. It's really hard to speak room full of Turkish people. Turkish people judge a lot when it comes to English. Like, there are other YouTubers uploaded. That's a hard word to say. Uploaded videos that they spoke English and they got so many criticism. It's not that important. I know I've made a lot of grammar mistakes. I'm going to try to learn a lot better. I'm going to try for the TOEFL exam. So hopefully my English is going to get better, but now I can speak with a native speaker and they understand me and I understand them. So That is the only important thing. Don't be so harsh on yourself, don't be so harsh on other people, and try to speak, not think about it. And that was it. Hope you liked it. If you liked it, please make sure to click on the like button and subscribe to my channel, and see you in the next video.